Welcome our blood viewers to RTD's News English Edition. As usual, we bring to you tonight's top highlights. Djibouti and China sign a mutual convention, international cooperation. And on the international scene, World Cup 2026, FIFA unveils 48-team World Cup format. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. Mr. Alexis Dessoif, a lawyer of the Brussels Bar and counsel to the author of the individual communication of Mr. Daher Ahmed Farah, filed on November 21st, 2017, before the United Nations Human Rights Committee against the State of Djibouti, visited Djibouti in his capacity as Vice President of the International Federation of Human Rights, and this in order to learn more particularly about the issues of human rights in Djibouti. The Republic of Djibouti has always collaborated and will continue to collaborate with human rights mechanisms, but deplores the actions of the International Federation of Human Rights and decisions taken against Djibouti by sending the lawyer of a party that sued the state of Djibouti before the Human Rights Council. Consequently, Djibouti regrets the lack of neutrality of this mission and invites the International Federation of Human Rights to reconsider the choice of its missionary. The ambassador of the Republic of Yemen, Mr. Abdullah Salim Al-Suquteri, paid this morning, Wednesday, 15 March 2023, a courtesy visit to the President of the National Assembly, Mr. Dileita Mohammed Dileita. The Yemeni diplomat was carrying a message of congratulations from the President of the Yemeni Parliament to His Excellency Dileita Mohammed Dileita following his election as head of the Djiboutian parliamentary institution. On the menu of the meeting, the two parties hailed the very good relations existing between the two brotherly peoples and expressed their firm will to deepen them further. A signing ceremony of convention took place this morning at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation between the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity and the Embassy of the People's Republic of China. The ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, and the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Ulufa Ismail Abdo, and the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Hu Bin. The signing of the agreement consists of a donation of 1,000 tons of rice by the People's Republic of China in favor of the Republic of Djibouti in order to fight against the drought in the Horn of Africa. The People's Republic of China responded by the President of the Republic in favor of national solidarity to fight against inflation in food products, which is actuated by the crisis in Ukraine. The ceremony was attended by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Amina, and the directors responsible for the department. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, expressed at the beginning of his speech his thanks and gratitude to the People's Republic of China for granting this gift, appreciating the distinguished relations between the two countries. Let's listen to His Excellency.
It is indeed a particular honor for me to seize this opportunity to express the gratitude and appreciation of the Djibouti government and the people of this country to the Chinese government and people for the relentless support and solidarity materialized today through the grant of 1,000 metric tons of rice. This is not the first grant and will certainly not be the last one, thanks to the excellent relationships that bound our two countries together. Your Excellency Ambassador Hu Bin, dear colleague Ulufa, China has demonstrated through numerous occasions and over the years its strong belief in cordial, balanced and loyal partnership with developing countries. There are so many sectors of development which China continuously supports on the African continent at large and in Djibouti in particular. The true nature of our partnership is undeniably based on respect, solidarity and a win-win mutual benefit. Your Excellency, Ambassador Hu Bin, dear colleague Ulufa, let me seize this opportunity to reaffirm with confidence that Djibouti appreciates this partnership with China and will make sure to strengthen it and promote it for the sake of our common prosperity. To conclude, I will end my brief remarks by expressing to His Excellency President Xi Jinping our warm congratulations for his re-election as the President of China for a third term, wishing him and the people of China more success on the development front.
A ceremony of reception of rice of 1,000 tons, about 26 bags of 50 kilo each, granted as a gift by the People's Republic of China in favor of the Djiboutian government. The ceremony took place in the hangars of honors located in the city of Haramous in the presence of the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Uluf Ismail Abdo, and the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Hu Bin. The People's Republic of China has responded to the President of the Republic in favor of national solidarity to fight against inflation in food products, which is uncontrolled by the crisis in Ukraine. For her part, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Uluf Ismail Abdo, thanked the government and the people for this act of generosity, which comes at an opportune time, especially the blessed month of Ramadan, which is approaching, and the Department of Solidarity will begin to distribute this rice to give it to the most needy. In her speech, the Minister of Social Affairs, Mrs. Uluf Ismail Abdo, stated that the People's Republic of China and the Republic of Djibouti, represented by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Chinese ambassador, signed an agreement to receive a donation of 1,000 tons of rice in response to drought in the Horn of Africa. The Secretary General of the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Amina Ahmed Warsama, chaired a roundtable on the subject of vocational training and professional integration mechanisms. The objective of the roundtable was to identify the challenges encountered, but also to propose models of support adapted to young people from these training courses. For entry into the labor market, in addition to the Secretary General of the Ministry of Solidarity Affairs, the Director General of Technical Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Abdul Qadir Hamad, a representative of the World Food Programme, a representative of the European Union delegation, and the deputy representative of UNDP were also all present. This activity, which was part of the program Empowerment, Self-Fulfillment, and Sustainable Social Solutions for the Most Vulnerable Host Populations, Refugees, and migrants on the territory of Djibouti, Sustainable Solutions brought together actors from the public sector, the private sector, and international organizations active in the field of vocational training and integration into the labor market. In a speech by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Social Affairs, Mrs. Amina Ahmed Warsama, she dealt with the Ministry's policy related to combating poverty and unemployment, promoting solidarity, and empowering simple families in order for the population to be able to withstand better. The Ministry of City and Housing, Mrs. Amina Abdi Adan, has launched land preparation work in the Nagat section on an area of 100 hectares. This ceremony, organized by the Real Estate Land Development Company, witnessed the participation of various financial partners and concerned institutions. The company in charge of these works reaffirms the government's commitment through the Ministry of City and Housing to work to improve the living environment of the population. The housing policy has become one of the priorities of the Ministry of Housing and the government of Djibouti within its regional and international plans. This company is working on the implementation of this project directly to deliver the first phase scheduled for a period of 18 months as the concerned authorities have committed themselves to this purpose. The ceremony ended with the unveiling of the city's plaque, first by the Ministry of Cities and Housing, as this subdivision accommodates more than 3,400 homes.
La CAC International Bank fait partie des banques qui commencent à financer.
In a speech by the director of the real estate company for land development on this occasion, she explained that the first phase, scheduled for 18 months to prepare the lands located in the Nagat site, have been completed as the concerned authorities have committed themselves to this purpose, and that step falls within the framework of the ministry's policy to promote housing, and it's a priority for the Ministry of Housing and the Djiboutian government within its regional and international plan. For her part, the Ministry of City, Urban Planning and Housing, Mrs. Amina Abdi Aden, indicated that this new subdivision will be for the benefit of executives and young Djiboutians in order to for decent housing. A strong delegation of the National Human Rights Commission, CNDH, led by the president of this institution, Mr. Ali Subani Atiye, took part in the work of the 52nd session of the General Assembly of the Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institutions, which began last Tuesday, March 18 in Geneva. The opportunity was for the head of this delegation, Djibouti, to discuss during the assembly the compliance of the actions of his institutions to the Paris Principle of the United Nations in order to obtain the accreditation of the CNDH of Djibouti to the institution. The president of the National Human Rights Commission, Ali Subani Atiya, accompanied by the Secretary General of his institution, Jibril Usman, and the lawyer Ismail Hamad Elmi, and the Commissioner Muhammad Ibrahim Hassan participated in the work of the 52nd session of the General Assembly of the World Alliance for National Human Rights Institutions, which began on Tuesday, March 14 at the Palais de Nation, which also means the Palace of the Nations in Geneva. Shifting gears, the DEGRA project aims to improve student performance in reading in basic education from grades 1 to 5 in the country. DEGRA is working with MEMFOP to design a social and behavioral change communication program, including tools, materials, and other resources that can be used by PTS and CGEs to implement reading awareness in enrichment activities. This event was attended by the representative of UFD in charge of adult literacy, the head of the basic education department, Mr. Adil Mohammed, the inspector of the 4A district, the school directors, the representative of the 360 Degra project, the teachers, the parents. The students made a remarkable animation with theater and poems in the room. The officials handed over school bags with the students from different primary schools. Finally, the reading party ceremony ended with a family photo with all the officials and partners and parents and students. The Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training organized today a guided tour of students on board the ship called Logos Hope, which has made its stop Thursday, March 9th at the port of Djibouti. More than 600 students of basic, middle, and secondary education from schools, public and private, of the capital under the supervision of directors and teachers were invited to visit the largest floating library of the world. Welcomed on board with a smile by the crew members, the students were able to attend a video session to guide us and give directions. Then our school children visited the second floor of the ship in several parts: the reception, the library, the display room, the games room, and the cafeteria. Smiling, curious, and attentive, they spent a morning in the Logos Hub Library, where the students were able to discover many books from different departments on various subjects, from personal development into sports and leisure books, including children's books, science, history, and cooking. After 4 years of sailing in Asian waters, Logos Hub has embarked on a 10-year mission in Africa, South America, and the Caribbean with the motto, books don't go to sea, but the sea bring books.
I would like to see this library because I like reading. That's why I came here to buy some books or and to see the weather because of many people are coming here together.
We stay at sea and we stay at this ship as yesterday, as part of the activities of the first quarter of the CDC of the year 2023, in the category Development of Public Reading, young people from the regions of Ali Sibih and Tajurra were able to visit the Logos Hope, the largest floating library calling at Djibouti until tomorrow. Accompanied by the leaders of the respective community development centers, the young people who were able to take advantage of this trip to explore books and meet the crew from over 60 countries around the world. The goal was to allow the students to immerse themselves in the world of books, and what a great way to spread knowledge. On board, some 5,000 books on a variety of subjects: personal development, sports, leisure, children's books, science, history, cooking, religion, at most affordable prices possible. And now a news that is making the headlines on Monday, March 13th, shortly after 7 p.m. 5 p.m., a particularly dangerous individual voluntarily took the life of his own uncle in the district of Humbuli. Indeed, it all started an hour earlier when the alleged perpetrator grabbed a knife before climbing on the terrace of a building of 4th floors in order to commit suicide. The residents tried to prevent the individual from jumping and then called his uncle to try to reason with him. It is with this insight of his uncle that the presumed author stabbed several times his victim and then rested in the cemeteries of Humbudi. As soon as the alert was received, several units of the gendarmerie were mobilized to surround the cemeteries of Humbuli in order to prevent the presumed criminal from leaving these places because he was armed and dangerous at that moment. This operation paid off by allowing the unmasking of the interested author who tried to flee. He was caught a few minutes later as he was trying to access the home of another family member in an attempt to kill him. The criminal identification techniques invested the crime scene in order to collect traces and clues that could be used to determine the truth. They also seized the murder weapon that has been thrown into the cemetery, as well as bloody clothes hidden by the alleged perpetrator of this heinous crime. The investigation being entrusted to the section of research and documentation. The presumed author was placed in custody. At the end of the investigations, he will be brought to justice to answer for his deadly actions. Within the framework of the improvement of the education system in Somalia, the President of Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, presided over an important conference in the Somali capital, Mogadishu. Opened a 5-day meeting in Mogadishu to discuss how to improve education in the country. Education improvement program under the chairmanship of the President of Somalia, in the presence of many officials and professionals and academics and partners. The focus will be on 7 priorities that have been identified to improve education for the improvement of education in the country, which are: first, review the vision in line with the public interest of Somalia, and also to evaluate obstacles and also to be able to find investing theories for the dissemination of quality education in Somalia. The improvement of education system in Somalia requires addressing the challenge by proposing recommendations and conducting consultation to finance education in the region. The other major challenge is to improve access to school for all students. Furthermore, the need for an adapted and high-level education program is vital to ensure quality education in Somalia. President Hassan Sheikh announced that the Somali government has a plan for the implementation and delivery of quality education services to ensure a national curriculum for Somali children. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, our beloved viewers, FIFA has decided the group phase of the World Cup 2026, the first with 48 teams, will finally be played in 12 groups for 4 teams, announced this Tuesday, March 14. The FIFA Council, thus abandoning the groups of 3 initially in phase. The FIFA Council has unanimously approved the amendment to agree on a format of 48 teams divided into 12 groups of 4 and no longer in 3 groups of 16, said the body from Kigali, Rwanda. Well, by this, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us.